This one hurt for Chicago. 2 days after Josh Giddey pulled off a miracle finish to sink the Lakers, the Bulls found themselves in another tight battle. This time, there were no last-second heroics-only heartbreak. Chicago clawed back from an 11-point deficit in the final moments against the Dallas Mavericks, but despite their fight, they fell just short, losing 120-119 in front of a stunned home crowd. The energy in the United Center was electric, fans on their feet, hoping for another magic moment. But when Klay Thompson calmly knocked down 2 clutch free throws,
perfect again,
reality set in. Nikola Vucevic drilled a 3 with less than a second left.
Stairs, Vucevic. That's good.
But it was too little, too late. As the final buzzer sounded, Bulls players walked off the court in frustration. They knew how much this game meant not just for momentum, but for their playoff positioning. Chicago was on the verge of their longest win streak of the season 5 in a row. A victory would have moved them closer to the 8th seed in the East, giving them a real shot at avoiding the play-in tournament. Instead, they remained stuck in a tight battle with teams like the Indiana Pacers and Miami Heat for seeding. Every game from here on out matters. As for the Mavericks, this wasn't just another win, it was a statement. Klay Thompson led Dallas with 20 points, proving that he's still a deadly closer. While this wasn't his biggest scoring night, his ability to step up in crunch time made all the difference. After an up-and-down season with questions about his long-term role, this game was a reminder, never doubt a champion. Alongside him, PJ Washington and Anthony Davis combined for 37 points, giving Dallas the balanced attack they needed. Now, the Bulls have to regroup, because next up, it's the game everyone's been waiting for: Josh Giddey's return to Oklahoma City.
With the former teammate.
And that's what this team is all about.
Josh Giddey's transition to Chicago has been filled with highs and lows. Just 2 nights ago, he delivered a masterful 25-point triple-double against the Lakers, proving why the Bulls brought him in. But against Dallas, his impact was much quieter. Just 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. His role has shifted since joining Chicago, with moments of brilliance followed by games where he takes a backseat to scorers like Matas Buzelis, Nikola Vucevic, and Kobe White. As the Bulls push for the playoffs, Giddey's consistency will be key. While Chicago is fighting for positioning, Oklahoma City has its eyes on history. At 62-12, they're on pace to become just the 3rd team ever to reach the 70-win mark, joining the legendary 1,995-96 Chicago Bulls and 2015-16 Golden State Warriors. But to get there, they must be perfect, winning all their remaining games. It's an uphill battle, but if any team can pull it off, it might just be this one.
Holmgren taken with the defense.
What makes OKC so dominant? One look at their latest performance says it all. The Thunder just crushed the Indiana Pacers 132-111, extending their win streak to 9 straight. This team doesn't just win, they overwhelm opponents. They've now recorded 48 double-digit victories this season, showcasing their ability to close games decisively. That ties the NBA record for most wins by double digits in a season, a testament to just how unstoppable they've been. A huge part of that success comes from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who just put up 33 points in their latest win. The All-Star guard has been the driving force behind OKC's dominance, leading them to a staggering 27-1 record against Eastern Conference opponents. That kind of dominance across conferences is rare, and it speaks volumes about how well this team is built. OKC has all the makings of a historic team, but history tells us that reaching 70 wins doesn't guarantee a championship. The 2015-16 Warriors set the record at 73-9, but ultimately fell in the NBA Finals. The 1,995-96 Bulls, however, capped off their 72-win season with a championship. The question now is, which path will OKC follow? But before they think about history, they've got a job to do against Chicago. For Giddey, it's not just another game, it's a homecoming, a chance to prove himself against the team that drafted him. And for the Thunder, it's another step toward greatness.
Scores as Kenrich.
This isn't just another game for Josh Giddey. It's personal. After spending his first few seasons with Oklahoma City, Giddey returns not as the future cornerstone of the Thunder, but as an opponent trying to derail their historic run. OKC fans watched him grow from a young, promising player to a key part of the franchise. The question is, will they still embrace him, or is there some bitterness after his departure? While there wasn't major controversy around his exit, leaving the team always creates an interesting dynamic. How will the Thunder faithful greet him when he steps onto the court as the enemy? For Giddey, playing against a former team comes with immense psychological pressure. It's not just another game, it's a chance to prove that he's more than what OKC let go. Over the years, many NBA players have struggled with this exact situation, especially in their first game back against their old squad. Think of LeBron James's return to Cleveland with Miami in 2010. His emotional return was filled with expectations and pressure. Similarly, players like DeMarcus Cousins and Dwight Howard have experienced the weight of playing their first game back after leaving their former teams, sometimes struggling with nerves or trying too hard to prove something. Can Giddey overcome that pressure and rise to the occasion? As much as the storyline is about Giddey, this game means a lot for Chicago's playoff hopes. A win against the 62-12 Thunder would be huge for the Bulls, not just for morale, but for their playoff positioning. With every game in the East feeling like a battle for playoff spots, this could be the type of signature win that propels them to a more secure spot. It's an opportunity for Giddey to lead the charge, show his old team that he's capable of stepping up in big moments, and give Chicago the boost they need. But if they lose, it's a much steeper hill to climb for the Bulls. Their schedule doesn't get any easier, and the pressure will mount as they face teams that are also fighting for those valuable playoff spots. Losing to a team as dominant as OKC would sting, but they can't afford to let it derail their season. Every game from here on out is a must-win, and the stakes couldn't be higher. For Giddey, it's more than just another game, it's a defining moment. Will he rise to the challenge, or will the Thunder remind him why they've become the best team in the league?
Jalen Williams flies!
As the final showdown looms, the stakes have never been higher for both teams. For Oklahoma City, this game is more than just another regular season match. If they lose to Chicago, it won't just be a blemish on their record, it could shake their confidence going into the playoffs. The Thunder are chasing history, aiming to join the ranks of only 2 other teams to hit 70 wins in a season. A loss here would be a wake-up call, especially with the pressure of the postseason just around the corner. Can they afford a slip-up, or will they use this as fuel to sharpen their focus as the playoffs near? On the Bulls' side, everything is riding on this game. A win against the Thunder would do more than just boost their playoff hopes, it would send a statement to the rest of the league. Chicago isn't just scrapping for a spot, they're here to compete, and they can take down the best. For the Bulls to succeed, it might take a breakout performance from players like Matas Buzelis, who's already shown he's capable of exploding for big numbers. Could this be the moment he takes over? And don't forget, Kobe Whitehead's shooting and playmaking could be the X factor that helps turn the tide in Chicago's favor. He's been quietly solid, and this could be his chance to shine on the big stage. Looking ahead, the schedules for both teams are filled with challenges. For Oklahoma City, they have to keep their focus and stay dominant. They've proven they can handle tough opponents, but the pressure to reach 70 wins looms large. Their next stretch of games could make or break their historic chase. With their eyes on greatness, they'll need to stay sharp and avoid any slip-ups. For Chicago, the road ahead is just as tough. The playoff race in the East is as tight as ever, and with every game crucial, they'll need to stay at the top of their game. A win against OKC would be massive, but it's just one step in what will be a grueling final stretch. Can they build momentum and secure a spot in the postseason, or will their schedule prove to be too much? The final showdown between Giddey's Bulls and the Thunder is more than just a game, it's a chance to set the tone for what comes next.
Foul. That is a huge 3, deep 3.
Will OKC continue their historic run, or will Chicago prove that they're ready to make some noise in the playoffs? Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more basketball content, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think will come out on top? Until next time, peace.